Alright, the next part of our introduction here, our stance set, as we're covering all of them, we have the last part of the stance set to do. So, I'm going to go through what we've done so far. We have our ready. We go out to our horse stance, heel, toe, out to the side, nice and flat. One leg drops back, toe, heel line, neutral bow position. I'm going to shift back to our cat stance, and then we lift the back leg up to crane, balance, stepping forward. We come into our forward bow, our aggressive posture. Now this is where we left off. From forward bow here and from neutral bow, if you need to get lower, if you've got to get down, you don't want to bend at the waist. Anytime you bend at the waist, we call that tabletop here. Like your back is the table. All your weight shifts forward and you don't have any balance to the front. You can be taken down very, very easily that way. You can be unbalanced. So if you have to get low, we don't want to bend at the waist. You always want to flex at the knees, keeping your back straight in order to drop yourself down. So from forward bow, the way that would look is I'm going to come up on the toes with my back foot. Bending both knees, I can drop down to what would be like a lunge position. And we call this our close kneel, lunge position. Both knees are pointing straight ahead here. And again, if you can see in the mirror, I'm up on my toes here, on my back foot. Comes up that way. So, from being high here in our forward bow, that's how we would come down low if we needed to. Still forward bow, but it's dropped down. And what my hands will do for this one is I'm going to come up with the front hand, covers the high line, and the back hand does a push down position. Again, this is just a position you'll see in the forms, shows up, so we use it for our stance set. The arms aren't as important as what the legs are doing and the posture of the back here. But this is our close kneel position. From here, we'll stand back up and we'll come back to neutral bow. We'll come back to that toe-heel line here. And then we'll look at if you're doing neutral bow, if you had to get low, what would that look like? And again, my back foot, I'm going to come up on my toes here, kind of rolling up there onto the ball of the foot. Bending both knees, I squat down. Now my knees go in not completely opposite directions, but almost 90-degree different directions. Almost. That's our wide kneel. So instead of bending over, I sink down this way. And again, my arms, this time, my front hand will go low, my back hand will go high, covering those lines. Again, more important, what you're doing with the legs. And the longer you hold this, the more pump you get, both in the close kneel and in the wide kneel. This really kind of pumps the legs up. And we usually do stance set following our warm-up. So you already broke a sweat, you've already been kicking, punching, all that. Then we come to this, and it kind of keeps that blood flowing through the legs so that when we get to our stretching, which follows the stance set, you're already good and warmed up. Right? So that's close kneel, we come up to neutral bow, and we drop down wide kneel. The next one we're going to do is a lot like our forward bow, but in reverse now. Forward bow is aggressive, reverse bow is defensive. So my opponent's still in front of me, but now my front leg is straight, my back leg is bent, and I'm set up to make an escape this time. My position is turned this way. It's defensive. At the same time, my attention needs to be on my opponent. So my front hand is going to reach out like it's pointing towards the eyes. The back hand kind of comes up and covers the chin this way. And here's our reverse bow posture. There. So running through all of them from the very beginning, we come back to ready. We're going to go out to horse stance, heel, toes, and square. Stepping back, we create our neutral bow position. From there, it goes to cat stance. From cat stance, it lifts up, balance, crane. Then we're stepping forward, forward bow posture, nice and strong. And then if we need to get low, forward bow going low is close kneel. Come back up to neutral bow and drop down low, wide kneel. And then from here, I'm going to pivot back to our reverse bow position. And now the last one, I just twisted away. Now I'm going to twist forward. So I've got my left leg forward, I twist it to the right. Get your right leg forward, you twist it to the left. But now I'm going to twist the other way. I'm going to twist towards the left, or if your right foot's forward, twist towards the right. Whichever leg's forward, twist that direction. And as I turn, I'm going to come up on the toes with my back foot. I'm going to bring my knees in together this way. This is called our twist stance here. turning the shoulders again as much as I can, and the front hand is doing a push down position while the back hand just chambers. There. This is our twist position. You don't have a lot of balance to the front, back, or sides, but you can up and down still be pretty strong. And usually this is a quick transition. If we needed to attack and continue to twist that way, we would go with that momentum, dropping into this twist stance, because then you can come back to your neutral bow quickly if you have to. Or anytime we're advancing or retreating with the front or rear cross. Front cross, well, you just stepped into a twist stance. Back. Same thing with the rear cross. If I step back, I'm stepping into that twist stance position, from which if I have to, I can rotate out of that into neutral bow. So that's the whole thing. That's the whole series. Last time we're going to go through the whole thing. Starts with ready. Comes out heel, toes, square. That's horse stance. I'm dropping one leg back, other side's forward. Neutral bow. I'm going to pull back to cat stance. And then from there, lift it up, crane. Stepping forward, pivot to the front. That's forward bow. And now if I need to go low with forward bow, squat down, close kneel position. I'm going to come back up to neutral bow, squat down, wide kneel position. And pivot away, retreating, our defensive posture, reverse bow. And then keeping the feet where they are, I'm going to turn towards the front leg, right or left, into my twist stance position. From there, I would step back up with the back leg, turn the front leg to the front, and I would be right back at ready. And we can do the same thing, only we switch sides. When you got to neutral bow, you'd step back with the opposite leg. So we always do it twice so that we cover both sides. That's all the dimensions and the step-by-step for the stance set. So if you haven't been to a class yet, then that's a good prep for seeing what we'll do. And if you have been to a class, I probably explained all this. Maybe you needed to hear it more than once. This is a resource for you to feel free to use. But that's the stances that are most common in Kempo. There are a few others, but we don't bother making those a regular practice. These are the ones we make regular practice of. So that is our stance set as part of our warm-up, and this has been the introduction. Thank you.